you're not going to like this, Mom, but I punched so-and-so in the face and made him bleed today. And, of course, she doesn't panic. She handled it very well. Any other time that he's been in trouble with, I don't know if he told his dad this story today, but any other time that he's been in trouble at school, which is frequent, he tells his dad with this smile and is so excited. And finally, recently, he asked his dad, well, weren't you ever in trouble? Didn't you go to the principal's office? Weren't you ever in trouble in school? Like he's trying to connect with his dad through this misbehavior. Now, we're talking about a kid at a different age than your kids were during the divorce.
Yeah, but they process it at whatever age that they're at, and it can express completely differently. It expressed completely differently through all three of my kids, too. But more importantly, how was his stand-up game? Did he follow it with a takedown? I mean, I want to know more about the fight.
No, I think it was just a square knock to the jaw. And
he didn't follow up with anything? You need to get him in striking, Travis.
Well,
what the hell?
Well, apparently not. I mean,
I don't think he needs any help. He's also 5, by the way.
What better time to start? And I'm just thinking through. I was just curious. It's how my brain works. I
told his mom recently when she came to me, almost in tears, because she had made the mistake of watching the making of a serial killer or something like this, and then she woke up in the morning and was like, "Oh my God, I'm raising a serial killer. Like he's a terrible, terrible human being." I was like, "No.
He's just 5.
I mean, maybe he is.
Yeah.
But maybe he's not. And I'll be honest, if he shows up on a milk carton, like, I'm going to look at the milk carton and be like, I know how that happened." Because he's a pain in everybody's ass.
Relatively savage. Does he know he's a pain in your ass?
Absolutely.
Just ignore him.
Oh, well, that only works for a while. I know where you're going with this.
You have to take his power away from him.
Oh, yeah. You know what happens in my class? What happens when he gets a couple of chances to redirect. And if he can't redirect, then he gets to hold my hand and walk around with me for the whole time. And if that isn't the most humiliating thing, to hold my hand and...
He could have a crush on you.
I was just going to say, that might backfire. I'm thinking to myself, if I'm that 5-year-old, I don't know how his brain works, but my brain was all about babysitters and teachers. And
yeah, he might have a crush on you. He could potentially be doing that to try to get to hold your hand. You might want to consider kicking him across the room.
I'm going to kick the child. I did threaten to choke him and maybe...
Yeah,
demonstrated that.
Well, at that
a little bit longer.
At that age, that's how you reciprocate feelings too. So I'm not so sure that choking him is going to be the solution either.
Oh God, I'm rethinking my entire approach to coaching. My point in this story in asking this question, though,
but I don't know if he's trying to connect with his dad that way. I mean, maybe
that's what I wonder.
Here's the thing. Here's what I'm not an expert at. Everything that we're going to talk about when it comes to parenting or relationships, but boys are just different than girls. I mean,
well, he's got an older brother.
Do they roughhouse?
Yeah,
I bet you they probably do. And I mean,
100%.
Maybe it is his way to connect with his dad, or a way to. But they're just more similar than he and his mom.
Could be. Did you, after the divorce, or even currently, because it's been
18 months, going on 19.
Who's counting?
Me.
Day by day. Did you notice in any of the kids that they were trying to connect with you in a way? Or, I mean, in Riley's case.
In Riley's case.
He intentionally disconnected.
And I still don't know exactly why. Because when I initially left, all 3 of the kids didn't seem to have an issue spending time with me. And then it was over the period of 2 days. I was giving him a ride home from school. I had Tyler and him in the car, and I was just chatting with him about his grades, which is probably he struggles in school, as do many. I didn't do great in school either because I didn't care. It didn't have anything to do with the trajectory of my life that I wanted it to be on. Difference being I did the absolute minimum to pass, so therefore was out of the microscope or spotlight of people at the school. Riley's grades are where he's in the spotlight at this point. People are paying attention because they're concerned. And I remember asking him about his grades, and he told me that they were good.